Yeah, so I am going to pass this over to the other Rick Fox, Don Venner, and Yagamoth for commentary on this four-way race. You are live. Go ahead.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to another great game in the RPGchick-a-thon. We are going to see Justin Z. We are going to see Zyrak. We are going to see Sonny Wrath 11. And we are going to see Couch 23 in a battle of the swordless. I am Rick, followed by Don Venor as my co-commentator partner in crime. Don, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing well. It's such a blast seeing like Earthbound and all these other great games from Fantasy VII yesterday, and now randomizer. This is something that really excites me because each game is different.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite things. Definitely picked up quick on it. It really is like a big, gigantic puzzle, and that's what's excited me the most because there's always a certain logic in order to getting 100% or just beating the game, and that's what you got to figure out. You got to get ahead of your opponents. This time, they're not going to have any swords to be able to help them out, so this ought to be interesting here.
Yes, I think so swordless. Obviously, there's not going to be any swords, but I believe scattered around instead of having to use the sword to open up Misery Mire or Turtle Rock or even some areas in Ice Palace there. There'll be the little tablets on the ground that you kind of go and step on. And I believe if you have the correct medallion and I believe the hammer, then the activation works.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of jerry-rigging going on to make sure our players can beat the game, but all in all, it's going to be pretty exciting because there's going to be some you're going to have to use some strats that you're not used to. There's a hammer on Trolldorm we've seen, but hammer on Ganon? Ooh, boy, that's going to be tricky.
I think what's going to be more tricky is hitting the balls back at the Aghanim fight. So if it's Aghanim required, obviously you'll need the hammer or the bug net. I would like to see the bug net being used for one of them at least. But yeah, hitting the balls back in Aga 2 is really difficult without the sword.
Yeah, I'd like to see that bug net too. I want to see that net's worth, you know. But the other thing we're going to be seeing here too is it is standard mode. So there's a bit of a difference between standard and open mode. Standard, you're going to start just like you do in the vanilla game. So you're going to go through, you're going to go save Princess Zelda and bring her to Sanctuary. Open mode is already saved. She's already saved, and you just go about your business. So we're going to be seeing some Princess Rescue.
Yeah, which will have 7 different items: the bow, the fire rod, a hammer, one of the 2 canes, or some bombs to start with.
Oh yeah, so what are you hoping they're gonna pick up on this one? We got some good players here, so anything's gonna be good, but what are you hoping for?
I really like the bow myself, just because you can go and clear Eastern right away. But for this being swordless, probably the hammer. It opens up so much and gives them a nice weapon.
I like that. Yeah, it does do tempered sword damage, so that's probably going to be one of their stronger weapons for a good lot of the run there if they get it.
All right, looks like we're Uncle's leading us.
So yeah, we will have to see what's up here.
But yeah, another change with the swordless mode instead of with swords is Ganon was very kind to us, and anything that would need to use the sword for, cutting down the curtain to fight Aghanim 1, or cutting down the vines in Skull Woods, he took the luxury and cut it for us.
Yeah, oh, that's fantastic. Pre-cut and ready to go. And with ready to go, our racers are off, and we're about to find out what our uncle has in store for us.
It is indeed the bow, which I'm pretty excited for. And little frontal protection with the baby shield.
Yeah, that bow's always a very nice find too, because it can be really hard to find out there if you have to go find it out in the wild.
Some people take some extra time to kill these green guards. What they're hoping for by killing them is getting a bomb drop, because at the end of this escape, there's a location where if you get a bomb, you get to open up 3 chests, and you kind of hope to get it with a bow. Gives you lots of opportunities to kill some enemies.
Yeah, that back of escape, that can get pretty high pretty quick with 3 potential items there. Yeah, we get some good stuff going on here.
Just lots of keys, which we'll be needing, so I always expect in the front, because you always need it to get to the back escape. Has to be a thing you gotta have.
Yeah, so once they get the key in the map, they pretty much will be getting nothing but items through the rest of the run. Another thing too, where they're looking for bomb drops, all the enemies have their prize packs randomized, so typically in a vanilla run of this game, you're not going to get bombs from any enemy. Randomizer is a little bit different, so you may get bombs.
Alright, so with that map pickup, now we know for sure that in the back of the escape there, with the bomb stuck to get into it, there are guaranteed 3 items back there.
Yeah, and that's always nice to know. It may not be the best of items, but you know, they're going to be items nonetheless.
Nothing really too exciting outside from that bow now. Their arrow economy, they're about less than half. They gotta make sure to save probably like 5 of them, just like worst case scenario you miss a ton, versus the key right in the very back.
Yeah, you definitely want to save some for that one last rat, an escape that has the key, and then once you're there, you're pretty much home free to do whatever you want. So they don't want to get locked out like that, unless they happen to find something pretty nice.
Yeah, with the standard mode, it has kind of like an anti-soft lock thing going for it, where if you like shot all your arrows or like below 10, I believe, and then you die, then when you respawn, you'll have 10 arrows, I believe, just so you can get through the areas.
All is not lost, just time, and time is a precious resource in these runs.
Yeah, you can see Sonny Rat picking up some pots and throwing them at the guards there, just to save some arrows, as well as trying to get that bomb drop.
It's a pretty sound strat, and it's a good health pick-me-up if you kind of been getting hugged by enemies on the way.
Alright, now that we're like in the back of the escape here, going through the sewers or something, there's a ton of small enemies here, and they like to light up and group together, so shooting them with the arrows is quite easy. And there we get a bomb trap for Zyrak.
And that's got to be a load off his mind there. The other ones, we'll have to see if they manage to get it. If they don't get any bomb drop, they're going to have to wait until they get the glove upgrade in order to lift up the rocks in the cemetery in order to go back, which can be potentially hard to row back.
Zyrak also just got an 8 bomb drop, so he's hogging all the bombs from the other runners, and Justin Z kills just another snake and gets his first one.
I blame him for being a bomb hoarder. Share the love. Then again, in a race, maybe not.
Alright, now what's hidden behind this wall here?
So what do y'all think it's gonna be? Make your guesses now.
Just a hoard of money, 400 rupees.
Nice for Zora, bad for everything else. Yeah, because you want to get some progression in the early going, and when you don't find it, it can get a little bit dicey.
At this stage of the game, I'd say even money is progression, because it does give you the 100 mark for the bottle vendor. Could give you the extra money if you wanted to buy some more bombs, so on and so forth. So it's pretty good, and like you said, it's Zora money.
Exactly. I'm sure our players are kind of hoping for something a little more useful, but you know, like I said, money's really helpful in the early going, so can't knock it.
Let's see if there's any divergence here. Are they all just gonna go to CAC, which is a pretty normal standard route to go? I was just seeing if anyone is gonna be crazy, save and quit and go straight into Eastern.
Viable possibility, and extra arrows at the end as a bonus prize.
Zyrak going a little bit more aggressive route, going straight into the Lost Woods area, where and Justin doing the same thing. While the other two went straight up north, wanted to get the double tree pulled, check the bush crab, and see what's on the lumberjack ledge here.
That's a pretty good idea. Some people like to know what's going on ahead of time in case they do have to go fight Aghanim later. Some people like to put it off until they get the Pegasus boots. I personally like to check it ahead of time so I know what I'm getting into. How about you, Don?
It really depends on the start for me. Like, if you have a couple of the items, you can go there right away. Otherwise, if I need some extra money, need some extra bonds for the Kakariko area, I will go up north for the double tree pull, and it doesn't look like Aghanim will be required. I believe that was a 20 up there.
Definite big red there. We don't know. I wouldn't put it out of the running, but it makes it a lot less likely. It depends on where the items lead them. If you get an early lamp, that could be an indicator as well as an early cape. I would say usually sword upgrades, but we're swordless here, so that's not going to apply.
Last was the hammer in the back by Blind's hut.
Oh, very nice early find. Our runners are going to be really stoked about that one.
I was gonna say there was a map check, and I believe I saw a 5/6 crystal over at Eastern and the Tower of Hera having a red pendant. Trogdor with the frustration arrow shooting the back of Blind's hut there. If only he knew what was back there.
Oh, that's gonna be a bummer there.
Shovel.
Shovel's an interesting one. One of our fetch quest items. It may be useful, it may not. You only find out by checking out the diggy spot, which is in the vanilla game where you find flute.
Yeah, so Justin was checking some of the areas, hoping to find a bomb drop, or bomb pickup, I should say. Hoping just so he can bomb at the back areas of those two areas, but unfortunately he did not find any, so he has to go buy bombs, return, and waste a little bit of time doing so. And the silver arrows to match that bow.
Oh, they are in some power heaven right now, and it looks like Zyrak trying to go for the chicken glitching crazy chicken lady's hut there, and picking up the silver arrows. That crazy chicken lady's well armed. Nobody's gonna get her chickens.
And then Desert was the other crystal.
Oh, so we're gonna have 3 pendants in the Dark World. So
two
those
pendants.
2 pendants. Excuse me. What am I counting? But still, that still means 2 potentially skippable dungeons. And Rando, you never know if you're gonna have to dip into a pendant dungeon, but the big hope is that you can just skip it entirely and move on to bigger and better things.
Oh man, looks like Justin didn't go back up north yet after buying those bombs. And won't be needing boots just yet. Only money up on top of the library. Someone with a hidden stash.
Yeah, probably not a whole lot to worry about there then. And we're getting a race game check from Zyrak.
Yeah, with like this small amount of progression, I'd say this is probably the right way to go. But obviously, I'm left to my own opinion.
Normally in a run 2, most people would save and quit after checking the race game, but when we have the shovel in play, not a bad call to route that in, because sometimes it can be a little bit tricky once you get it later and have to figure out where to etch it in.
Did the flute scoop pick up the flute?
Wow, that is... Now that's something I can get into right there, because that's normally where you find the flute in the original game, and finding an item in its vanilla location is probably the worst thing to have happen because you're totally not expecting it to be there.
Well, at least the shovel was found really early, so they can pick it up right away and then go back and activate the flute.
So they're going to be able to travel around quite a bit. They are going to have some Death Mountain access now. Not a whole heck of a lot until they get the mirror, but they have a little bit they can check there open to them.
Otherwise, if they do find the hookshot as well, will be access to a lot of items.
And it's beautiful, and Zyrak is going to fly the Swag Duck Airlines.
Proceeding with like the normal routing and just doing the South Shore area. There's what 7, 8 chests in this area, and the hookshot. Where can Zyrak go wrong?
And right there, yeah, because you got you're gonna have 2 chests to check out in here, and 5 to check out in Mini Moldorm Cave, and a hook shot. Oh, look at that. Okay, yeah, I think this scene is telling them to go all the way to Death Mountain pretty quick, if you ask me.
Yeah, I'm super curious if he continues checking South Shore. He just goes straight up to Death Mountain, and looks like he is going to go to the Mini Moldorm Cave.
I wouldn't blame him. Kind of go with the odds there. You got 5 potential good items. You know, let's see where we go with it.
Yeah, the hookshot is a really good weapon to kill him, too. Just one shot with the hookshot.
The other good thing about hookshot is if you don't have the Pegasus boots yet, there's a lot of stuff you can hook on and go a little bit faster. And each and every edge you can get over your opponents is it's vital on these runs, especially when you're going against some high-level players like these. So every little bit's going to count.
And there is the bug net as well in Mini Moldorm Cave. And looks like Couch just floated down during the South Shore route as well.
There's some interesting things there, and let's see where we go from here.
Once again, Zyrak using the flute, saving a little bit of time. And gets to flute number 8, check this Ice Rod Cave.
That's probably a quick way to fit it in. There's also the potential of doing fake flippers as well. The trick is with fake flippers, it is a glitch where if you jump off a ledge into water, you have a 1-frame window in order to make a screen transition to the next room, and if you do that, you glitch like having the flippers without actually having them.
Unfortunately, they don't have the Moon Pearl, so they can't get the tube from the Waterfall of Wishing. But I think they're gonna put off fake flippering for now.
Yeah, it's something you want to do when you do have the Moon Pearl, so you can actually walk on the water, and then we can route it to check Zora too.
Not having the land just yet, Zyrak is using his hookshot for echolocation to locate the old man and bring him to safety.
All things considered, too, that cave isn't that hard of a cave to figure out once you've had a little practice with it. And there's one of our unusual big 20s too that I just caught. So our big 20 there that actually has the 20, that's where a sword upgrade would have been.
Yeah, obviously with the 4 missing swords, there has to be 4 new items, and to replace them is some big 20s. And Sani just got sideswiped by the Octorok and missed his bird flight.
Well, the Octorok wants to eat him. Unfortunate.
Alright, after they're finishing up this area, I'm kind of... Oh, yep, just more Death Mountain, so far, just everyone's following in Zyrak's footsteps, from what I can see.
Yeah, it's pretty linear, and I don't blame them for routing the same way. Sometimes the randomizer seeds get pretty linear. Other times, You have the world open to you, and God knows where you want to go next. So, ooh, look at that. Boots right up there, but he's not going to get it until he finds the mirror. So that's going to be very tantalizing.
Yes, mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the fastest of them all?
Hint, not any of these runners at the moment. So that's going to make some of them sad.
All right, come on, fly to 5, fly to 5. Oh. Yeah, Justin with the echolocation strats.
And we're going to be getting a look at Paradox Cave here. Every runner's dream location here, because there's 7 potential chests to find some really good progressive loot here. And we're going to see the first 2 on Zyrak right now. And the others will be following suit shortly. Nothing much yet, but still 5 more chests to check.
Ooh, Tinesmith. Or not Tinesmith, the glove and the fire rod.
Oh, perfect. With the fire rod, they have a light source now. They can also full clear Skullwoods if they want to.
They they don't have the Moon Pearl, unfortunately, so they can't really do too much in the Dark World.
Well, of course, once they get the Moon Pearl, and Bombo's in there too, so that could be useful too. We're gonna have to see about the medallion.
Yeah, like, he can now go straight into Tower of Hera and get the pendant if he so wishes. There are 2 chests in there as well.
So yeah, we're finding this one's kind of a linear seed. Usually Flute tends to open up a lot, but it seems to be taking them all in the same direction so far. So we haven't seen a lot of route divergence yet.
And the Pokeball fall. I didn't see that before. And missing the bomb jump, he's just going around, go back up around the normal way.
I bet Sonny wishes he could take advantage of the missing no glitch to get 255 of a particular item.
That's the missing item. There's a number.
And just a compass there, so we're going to be finding a key of some sort here and a little key. So thank goodness they found that fire rod, because they're going to have to get the big key from the basement. And so we may be seeing a coffee break by our runners here.
I wonder if... Ooh. That's my couch. So I'm wondering if like their decision to go into Tower of Hera is influenced by that boots location, or if the mirror was in here, they can get the boots right away.
Very possible. I mean, if it's right close and handy, I mean, why not? It's Tower of Hera is one of the quickest dungeons to check anyway, so even if they all go in it, they're not losing a whole lot of time by going to check it out. So, you know, nothing wrong with that.
With it being a pendant, it might not be required at all, and then having to do the forced coffee break room, it's actually a fair amount of time. And we get a flute away by Justin. He's going down to the desert area to get this one-off location.
And now we're getting some route divergence now. It's always checking Agina's cave here. They're not going to be able to get in to go to desert at the moment, but maybe soon.
Couch with another death. Unfortunate.
Yeah, with 5 hearts and each tile doing a heart of damage, that's you gotta be very wary in the early going.
Yeah, if you notice, when Zyrak did it, and what Justin's doing now, is that if you flip the switch while standing on the peg, it kind of puts you in an iframe state, so you can just kind of stand there the whole time, and Couch gets it this time. And you can just kind of wait this out, take a sip, look at your tracker, look at what you want to do next.
It's probably one of the only moments in a rando race to really sit down and collect your thoughts and have that pre-break. So that's something to definitely take advantage of. And speaking of taking advantage, there's a safety bottle that Zyrak picks up in the big chest of Tower of Hera. With that bottle, too, they will be able to check Sick Kid to see what item he has.
And Justin set himself for a death warp there to get to the entrance of the dungeon faster, which is why he took those 2 tile shots at the end there, which is why he stepped off the pegs. And we find the book in Sahasrala's hut, so now we can get into the desert there.
Well, that's some interesting stuff there. We'll have to see if its boots locked. We know where the boots are, thankfully, but we don't know where the mirror is yet.
Hey, jump in real quick. Well, there's nothing new going on. I just want to remind everyone that the finale up after this, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, there is a bid war between Aqua, Terra, and Ventus right now if you want to choose the path. Aqua's in the lead with 352, and Terra's in second with 213.99.
Go bid, fight, win. And speaking of win, we have a pendant for Zyrak, so not exactly progression, but hey, we got it done and over with.
Alright, so we finally get to see the Eastern Palace. At least this is what I was hoping to see much earlier. And we did find the book, which is also progression in Sahasrala's hut, really close by.
And I believe, too, that's going to open up, since they don't have to worry about any swords. I think they just have to have the hammer for those, so that bumps that right up into the realm of possibility to find some good items there once they get to them.
Just finds the 20. Yeah, but based on where the boots are, we can either safe to say that we're gonna find mirror soonish, or obviously we can also just find the moon pearl and the mirror can be hidden forever.
You never know how random's gonna roll you, and more often than not, it's gonna troll you on something. Whatever that something is, we don't know yet, but it all shall be revealed in time. And we're gonna find out what's on Sick Kid here, speaking of reveals.
A lot of love to give.
I didn't think he could donate his heart. Is he that sick?
Maybe that's why he doesn't give you anything else after he gives you an item.
Yeah, probably. I don't think that's the way you do a heart transplant. And Zyrak popping over to Eastern Palace, and Sonny is about at the big chest. What's inside?
So, currently, what Sonny is doing is a little dark room inside Eastern. You need the lamp to logically get what's behind this chest, or behind this room here. There's one chest. If it's the big key, which I think it is, it opens up a second chest, which, will have the item. And, like, currently, what we know is available is desert, like the desert ledge as well. And then, because they have the gloves, they can go up and do a Zora. And they've got a ton of money for a Zora, too.
The thing I've seen about Zora more often than not is he's a shifty character. He will charge a premium for his trash.
Yeah, hope it's not a piece of candy and it being the moon pearl. Because it'll be like, who's the first to check Zora to get like a huge lead.
Yeah, that moon pearl sometimes can be elusive, and there are a couple places in the dark world where one can actually find it, so it may not even be in the light world after all. It's a small chance, but still very possible.
Right, Sonny hammering his way through that dark room there, where you have to go kill an Igor to get a key to enter.
Yeah, that room... Go ahead.
I was gonna say, he didn't use the fire rod at all, so he's probably experienced using just the hammer to go get that key.
Yeah, it can be a tricky room if you're not prepared for it. But as long as you know like what you're looking for, and as long as you have a fire rod too, because you can light up that room as you had mentioned.
And now we're gonna see a pretty fast kill here with the silver arrows. Just need to put one into each of the Armos Knights.
It's gonna be like an episode of Teen Girl Squad and go arrowed. Ow, there's their stone skin.
Alright, and we get our first crystal here.
And Sonny with the first crystal. So we haven't, I don't think we found a whole heck of a lot, but crystal is the best progression of all. And we've got it in about 26 minutes in. So not bad so far.
It's just a big piece of, like a big heart contained there over on the desert ledge. So there's 2 items here we can get. And I'm not sure, like I don't play Swordless myself. So I'm a bit curious. Can they go back up to Tower of Hera and check the Ether Tablet right now? I believe that they can.
They can as long as they have the hammer, from what I know of. I haven't done a lot of Swordless in my own experience, but I do remember looking it up and seeing that was a thing. So they will be able to check Ether and Bombo's tablet.
Alright, well then we have a Ether Tablet, as well as one of the other item locations we can check for a progression.
And Zyrak using the fire rod to light up the room a little bit. Good move there.
Alright, so Sani found... okay. Sani found a compass in that first chest, which means this is a Bootlock's dungeon. I'm curious if he is going to go to the back and steal a key to open up the 2 chests on the right side. They know that boots will be required, so whatever's in there might be, like, deep in logic.
It would be a bit of a sequence break, but it has led to a high-profile victory in the Spring 2018 tournament, where Hippo actually scored a victory against Ben in one of the best of 3 matches just by doing that. So it's a pretty clever maneuver.
Okay, so knowing that doesn't have anything we can get right now, it does leave just Ether Tablet and Zora. And if it's Ether Tablet, then Sani has an advantage because he's going straight back up there because he didn't do Tower of Hera. He just went straight down after doing Spiral Cave.
Sonny's got some really good routing on him. He knows what to do and he jumps right to it. I've raced him personally, and he can really be a force to be reckoned with.
Alright, then Couch lighting up the room as well to get the easy kill on the Igor.
And a good maneuver, hooking onto the peg to get a little bit of speed there. Those who run no major glitches, who are experienced in that, generally know what they can and can't hook onto, and will use that to their advantage in doing these randomizer runs.
Zora has the progression. Oh, that's Zora.
For once, Zora has progression? What is this? I've only seen that once in the tournament so far.
The Merchant of Mayhem. At least they don't have to farm up rupees to go get it. The seed is very generous with giving them cash.
Yeah, they're gonna have enough for their college fund there, like Eastern Palace University or something. I don't know.
So, what do you think will be the progression item it gives? Like, there's obviously a really good chance that it's the Moon Pearl, but it could easily be the Mirror as well, or possibly the Flippers to go get into the waterfall or the Zora Ledge.
I think judging on how Zora likes to act, Zora just doesn't give you stuff. Zora makes you work for it. And he's gonna make him work for it by giving him probably flippers to say, hey, go back and find it. Because, you know, Zora's like that.
I am very entertained by the missing numbers Spider-Man heads for dodging the tyrants there.
What, can't just glitch the tiles into oblivion? What is this?
Didn't set up for a death warp, so he's just gonna walk out of here the regular way. Making sure to hit that switch so he doesn't lock himself out. Well, he also has a fire rod and the bow, so he can easily get out if he just shot down right here.
Yeah, it won't be too much of a time. He's got a bit of a lead so far, so we'll have to see if he keeps that up.
Zyrak picking up the lead with the fake flippers and the blue mail on the floating island, the Lycalia island.
Yeah, they'll have to get that once they get the mirror and get to the dark world. But depending on your comfort level, and there may not be a get.
And here goes Couch stealing a key from the back. Like, this could be huge. Like, what if this is the Moon Pearl right here inside a desert?
Oh, that will shoot him more closer to the lead. I will say with these randomizer matches too, usually it can be pretty tricky to determine who actually has a lead until right around the end. And once somebody hits a go mode, it is like bam. So it's never over until the Fat Fairy sings, as I call it.
Oh, I didn't even notice. Justin also stole a key from the looks of it. So we found the big key there. Okay, so that means the small key is on the torch without even looking.
And that also tells me I'm not going to leave my keys lying around with any of these people. No.
Oh no, I missed the Zora ledge item. Looking down at what desert may hold. Alright, now let's see what the merchant has. The Zora.
I wish I could give a good drum roll right at the moment.
And it is the Moon Pearl.
What? Zora's not making him work? What is this? Zora's never nice like this. Okay, maybe not never, but no life lessons or anything.
So with that gives them Dark World access. And it actually gives them 2 full dungeons that they can clear in Thieves Town and Skull Woods. And another if you want to do Hamasaur's Dark Rooms Blind.
Yeah, if you want to do the dark rooms, if you're comfortable with it, that does make pod clearable too.
Alright, going straight into the bottom side, go to the Hype Cave, which contains 5 items.
What do you think it's going to be, hype or gripe?
I'm hoping for hype. I just want to see just so many items given to them at once that they can just, like, diverge and do whatever they want.
I'm going to say gripe, not to play counterpoint, but they've gotten quite a few items already, so I'm not expecting a super hype cave at the moment.
Alright, Green Pendant Turtle Rock, and the other 5, 6 is Thieves Town. And then I believe Ice was the other pendant there.
I didn't quite catch it, but speaking of ice, I did catch Zyrak found the very elusive ice rod, but unfortunately with Turtle Rock being a pendant, that's not going to be so much of use in this run.
I think what his problem was that he didn't check the map first, because if you check the map first, it's going to be a crystal and you're not going to find the ice rod. Instead, he found the ice rod first, and when he did a map check, it became a pendant. Easy as that, right?
Yeah, basically it's like, oh hey, I have the ice rod, because the ice rod can literally be anywhere. And then you check it, and it's like, oh jeez, really? I know that's probably what I would have said.
Alright, so without having the Titan's mitts, I can't continue north into Kakariko Village. So we're probably gonna see a saving quit right out of the sticking game if we don't find the mitts here. It's the half magic.
Half magic is pretty useful, and without having a sword, that makes things a lot more useful too, because you get more fire rod shots, you get more magic. It's really a nice thing to have in swordless.
So, speaking like swordless, we have the fire rod, we have the hammer, we found the bow and the silver arrows. We are not skimping on damage at all. Like, we should not run into any troubles killing anything ever.
No, it's basically like shooting a rat with a bazooka at this point, so they have nothing to worry about.
So yeah, just the half magic just gave him even more firepower to add to the arsenal. And he loots off and goes straight for Palace of Darkness. There's 5 chests here, and it is completable. It is a crystal. I'm hoping he goes, like, full clears this.
Could be, yeah, could be very well possible. If he's feeling comfortable enough in those dark rooms, then it shouldn't be an issue. The really big one is the maze, of course, but then also the basement on the way to Helmasaur King. So that's gonna remain to be seen how that's gonna go. 'Cause those turtles can be brutal down there.
Yeah, not being able to see the turtles in the dark can be so annoying.
Yeah, they really live up to their name of terror pins there, so that's something to keep in mind.
Like, you can't kill them if they're not flipped over, and then just trying to find them in the dark. Like, you can't just randomly just keep hammering the floor hoping you'll flip one and hit it, because if you just, you know, flip it, walk up, hammer, if you miss it, it's gonna reflip back over onto its feet again.
And then go even faster, which makes things even more pretty.
However, they do have a fire rod, so it'll be easy to find them if they can find the torch right away.
So I think definitely the key to this early thing here is going to be finding the mirror.
Yeah, mirror will be giving you boots, which will make you faster. And you can check a lot more locations more quickly, be able to hit both light and dark side of the world.
Mirror, mirror in a chest, where is the place we will find you best?
And just in Z with the divergence here, going to the pyramid before going to pod.
Not a bad idea. It's right there. I think it was just was it a piece of heart? Yeah, it was a piece of heart, but going for it anyway. And actually a good idea too, because that made 4 pieces of heart for another heart and a health refill. So that was a good call right there.
And we heard the terror pings of the hearts being low, so good by him putting his hearts right. With green mail, everything in here does at least like 2 hearts of damage. It's very terrifying to be running around and taking hits.
Yeah, that Dark World is merciless and brutal. So ideally you do want to get blue mail, but you know, it's a safety, and if you're comfortable with it, go to town. And we're gonna get a catfish check.
Yeah, I wonder if he's gonna just continue going the loop here, come back down and use the hook shot across and hit the west side of the world.
Could very well.
Please excuse me, I do not know my directions. I just say left and right side of the world. Alright, whenever I like see anything like east or west, I always have to tell myself, never eat sour watermelons. Just reminds me every time which way's what.
Ah, Mnemonics, your dear, dear friend.
Alright, so yeah, he did do the hookshot around where Justin just saved and quit and fluted over to Kakariko.
Not a bad idea. It is a much quicker way, but be able to check Bumper Cave. They don't have the cape, I don't believe, so they're not going to be able to get the item. But you don't actually need hookshot to grab it.
Yeah. And the mirror shield is up there.
Oh, that riot shield, it's very helpful. The shield upgrade, I like it because originally, like normally you have to, you don't have a very good thing, but once you upgrade it a couple of times, it actually becomes extremely useful.
I really like it for Gan's Tower, just for like 1 or 2 rooms with the red mimics where they start shooting fire at you. And I don't like when they hit me because then my arrows miss.
Oh, yeah, because spinning is a dirty habit. And hey, Justin's in Skullwoods now, so 2 items to potentially find in here.
Yeah, Sonic going to Thieves Town instead.
The first item being a big red for Sonny, so that cinnamony taste is probably not leaving a good taste in his mouth there.
Because Iraq
Justin's, that
is pretty low on hearts. I believe everything in here actually deals 1 heart of damage. And he's using echolocation to find his way in the dark maze.
This could be a rough time for Zyrak here if he's not careful. Yeah, because you're not going to be able to light up anything.
Yeah, can't light anything up, and you don't got the sword to guide your way. So it's much more difficult doing it this way than if it had swords this game.
Now, I do know in the tournament, you can use maps and stuff to help guide your way through. So that is, so having those maps or anything like that is totally a-okay.
Yeah, especially when you don't have the sword to guide your way and having to use just little animation from the hammer hitting. It's a lot more difficult to do so. Like, find your way around here.
Yeah, it's a good idea on using that hookshot too, so you can actually have the hookshot bounce off the little walls there.
Yeah, so you can see the pathways.
Yeah, the boomerang just goes over those, if I'm not mistaken, and just finding another big red there. Lots of big red.
So Justin Z gonna go fight the moth now. He didn't go for the digging game first, so he doesn't have the half magic. So he's probably definitely going to run out of fire rod shots and have to switch to his hammer to finish this boss off.
Yeah, that hammer has a wonky hitbox, so it's not an ideal thing that you want to fight Mothula with, and it looks like Justin is going to have to hammer in the morning, the evening, and whenever else.
Those are some really good hammer hits there. Like, it wasn't missing, he was pretty on point. It was just some of the hits knocked Moth into a spike, or he was on a spike, and it didn't do any damage, which is why it took even more hammer hits than it should have.
Yeah, that's always the top. Mothula's kind of coded. That Mothula fight can be pretty tricky because he's coded to in such a way that the spikes don't hurt him. So if you're not careful, you may not end up doing damage to Mothula. But Justin not having that problem and having a really good fight there, picking up the what I believe is his second crystal, if I'm not mistaken. No, it looks like first. That tracker's really small, so I'm right up against my screen.
I didn't see if Zyrak completed the dark maze, but it looks like Couch did die in the dark maze, so he's gonna give it another shot here. Or he's been practicing NMG, so he might actually go ahead and set himself up for the hammer yum.
That is very advantageous. This is probably one of the most difficult bomb jumps you can do. As you can see, he's setting up some he keeps pausing to buy himself a little more frames in order to line up that jump, because that's going to be pixel perfect, and Couch landing it. Beautiful.
The NMG strat's really paying off there. Then I believe too, as well as while you're doing that, like you have the floor chasing you down, you have the timer at the bomb itself ticking away, and as well, you gotta position yourself in the right way. Then as after the bomb explodes, you gotta be holding up so you don't fall off into the pit as well. So you can climb up onto the path there.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me just tell you that is not easy by any means, and just Couch showing off his skill. That is like, much kudos there. It's so great to see such a move shown off here.
Alright, so we have like 3 different dungeons being done at once. Obviously, Justin completed his. And it looks like he just okay. I think he wanted that hard. Just trying to get the life back before doing this bomb jump.
Totally broke his heart there. Sad.
I wonder if this bomb jump is being a little bit more difficult for him just because he's using spray he's not used to with Trogdor.
That could very well be, because it's hard to line up things sometimes if you don't have your original Link sprite, if that's what you practiced on. And Sonny in the blind fight, blind always having a pun of some sort, and that's why blind is always near and dear to my heart.
Oh, look. Hammer blind is so difficult to do. Like you said, the wonky hitbox. And the Titans mates for Justin Z. Skullwoods was the right play.
Oh goodness, very nice. And Sonny picking up his Thieves Town crystal. I would imagine he's gonna slip over to Skull Woods if he already hasn't yet.
Yeah, it looks like he's heading up north there to it. Couch gonna check the pedestal. And bomb capacity upgrade.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are out for blood and wanting a Ped seed, I am sorry, Ped is officially dead.
Don't worry, Aghanim still required if you count Aghanim too.
And it looks like Zyrax getting at the Helmasaur King. Generally a strat is to hold out your sword and hit Helmasaur's mask because the knockback is a little bit less. Obviously not having the sword here, but the motion is still the same. And one shot, one kill, Golgo 13 style with a silver arrow, and Helmasaur King has been dethroned.
And it's the special 20 you're talking about, so that would have been our second sword upgrade.
Yeah, so at this point would have had Master Sword.
Alright, so as well with Thieves Town being completed, that is both our 5 and 6 crystals there. So now they can also do the Pyramid Fairy.
And that could hold something, could hold nothing, you never know. But it's extremely interesting to see that it's available so early to them. So I wouldn't be surprised if it had some sort of progression in there.
Oh, Bottle Vendor had our 3rd sword upgrade actually, so that would have been our 3rd.
Oh, so they would have had Tempered Sword. Well, at least Hammer can do Tempered Sword damage, so that's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's the same thing essentially, just different hitboxes. Alright, so we have a lot of little side quests to do here and there. Like we can take the frog home, do the chest, we got hammer pegs to do yet. We have the escort mission for the big bomb for the pyramid. And with that Titans mate, it actually gives us a lot of chests over on Dark Death Mountain there.
Yeah, we got 4 in Hookshot Cave, 1 potential Death Mountain Island prize, and then 2 in Super Bunny Cave. So there's 7 potential items there. So I wouldn't be surprised if any of them went back there anytime soon to go see what's up.
Yeah, I think after they complete these 2 dungeons, because they are required, so they're just getting them out of the way right now. Instead of, searching for more items to do more dungeons. Just doing the if you can do it strats.
It's a good philosophy to have and one I follow when I personally practice my randomizer seeds here, so can't fault them for that.
Yeah, I really do expect most of them to save and quit, go up to the mountain, and go and grab all those chests because it's a huge chest density for a small location there, compared to all these little one-off locations that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, when it comes to randomizer, you always want to have a chest fest, so that's the best.
So I wonder, like, if any of them are playing the mind games, like, oh, there's, you know, one or two, well, actually it's 3 other people racing against you, but, like, they're probably gonna go do the most chance-less locations. Are we gonna make a gamble, go to one of the other locations? And so far, outside of what I'd say, like, going to Death Mountain earlier, rather than after Eastern, they've all been on the same path here.
I will have to say, to its credit, it has been a fairly linear seed as well, so it's been kind of guiding them in one general direction so far.
Oh yeah, what do we need still? We need the mirror, obviously, for the boots, as well as swamp. We need the flippers for swamp. We need the lamp, technically. Not sure if any of our runners need the lamp, actually. But then we need red cane, and maybe a medallion or 2.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to find out what medallion they need until they actually see what it is in Misery Mire. So they do have the stuff they need. They have the flute and they have the Titansmith to be able to go check it. But whether they are able to go in or not is another question.
Oh yeah, that's right. They can possibly get into Misery Mire, so that's up to like 4 chests over there.
Yeah, you have Checkerboard Cave to check out. You have the Mire Shed, and I've seen more than a couple of times if the player doesn't have the medallion in hand. I've seen it sometimes where it's been right in that Mire Shed, and a little thing I like to call key under the doormat.
Ooh, Moth taking 2 victims down with him. Then it looks like Blind might take a victim too here. Just needs 1 more hit. And he survives with a single heart. Congrats, Justin. Does he get in?
That was close. Going to do the back of Skull Woods again, though, that gets really rough because you've already used a bunch of magic. You got to fill up on your health again. There's places you can do it, but you got to go through that back again. And when they don't really have any safeties to protect them from the Gibdos, they can hit you like an 18-wheeler. So that's some pretty painful mummies. They will make you scream for your mummy.
Yeah, 2 hearts of damage per Gibto hit. It's very much not my favorite enemy in the game. They just have a ton of life. Just always walking at you like you have something to give them.
Bandages, that's what it is. Plenty of bandages.
And like this room that Zyrak in is kind of a terror if you can't kill them or stun them in any way, and you don't have the Canis Amaria to immediately go through this room without pulling the statue.
Sonny being careful. As a runner, ideally you want to end this fight quick, because it's not really so much Mothy that's the problem. It's the moving room and all the spikes that run around. And Couch doesn't have to worry about that anymore because he's taken Moth down, and so does Sonny as well. And Justin picking up his half magic, so we're getting a lot of action all at once.
Yeah, Justin going down south here. It looks like he's going back north, so he might be going to do hammer pegs as well as grabbing the frog to bring him back home.
Yeah, Jeremiah needs to go home, so I'm going to have to save and quit out in order to do that because still no mirror.
Otherwise, the frog might be getting huge world tour here.
Thankfully, you don't have to worry about the frog croaking because the frog is invincible.
And unfortunately, because they didn't find the mirror to go get those boots, they have to do the pegs the old-fashioned way, the very slow way.
There is, for those not in the know, there is a glitch that's specifically in the first Japanese release of A Link to the Past, which is the version that our randomizers are on. You can actually dash using an item if you press A and Y at the same time and hold it. And usually that shows up in doing hammer pegs by making that a whole lot quicker.
I don't actually, because it's swordless, they can't hammer dash. Just thinking about it, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting this is swordless sometimes. Excuse me.
There's just so many like bosses you can kill without the sword, and obviously they're gonna have to. That's like sword is just kind of second nature sometimes. Like if you run through this game, given what they got right now, let's just say with a fighter sword only, they're probably just gonna be doing the same things they're doing right now anyway.
Yeah, I can't particularly see a whole heck of a lot of diversions, but it would definitely make some of these boss fights much easier.
Yeah, obviously with like Moldarm being one of the easier ones, and not having to do the menu wing for the Swamp Palace boss there.
Yeah, I've done menu strats against Argus before. Not ideal. It's more of a time sink than anything. Argus isn't that bad of a boss battle, thankfully.
Alright, so Justin Z is gonna go over to East Dark Death Mountain here to claim all this chests. And hopefully we find the mirror over here, because then that will open us up to boots as well as getting the floating island item. I don't remember what it was, but they can get it if they find it, right?
Yeah, that's right. If they do want to check, oh, they have to go back for Ether Tablet because of no mirror. But if they get it, they can go check Ether Tablet as well for something. That's very possible. So 8 potential items. I like it.
Unfortunately, we know that the Ether Tablet is absolute garbage, but if all the players need to do it, it's not really a time loss.
That's right. And in the midst of this 4-player action, I almost forgot about that. Thank you.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm kind of lost because we saw like 3 different dungeons at once, 2 people in one person in another, one person in the third, and just like who did what dungeon when and for how long and what did they get from it. Thankfully, we had the trackers on screen, so we don't have to memorize what each player has, but
Which thankfully is beautiful. Unfortunately, we haven't found a whole heck of a lot in Super Bunny Cave, but Hookshot Cave, let's see.
Alright, now we see some divergence there. It is Bombos. To get into Mire, we can get in there. We can grab up to 2 items there.
And I think
for
we
sure.
also saw that Turtle Rock is also Bombos, if my eye has not deceived me. So they have all the medallions in mirror in Hookshot Cave. Look at that.
That is huge for Justin.
And Flippers, what is this Hookshot Cave? Holy cow.
The introduction to Argus Cave there.
So with that, we found 2 out of the 4 Swamp Palace items. They may have to join in there after all. That opens it up.
Justice Tracker is also showing that Bombos opens up Turtle Rock. So like, once you find Canis and Maria, actually just might be almost go mode if you find Kane. It is.
Go mode, Kane. You know that another one of our friendly commentators, Phantom Ryu, you know he would be going extra nuts if he's watching right now if we find not just Kane, but Go mode Kane. That is fantastic.
Like, logically, they also need the lamp, but like I said, they don't really need it. They know the dark rooms and can do it with the hammer.
Yeah. Lamp is one of the skippable things in Logic that you can get away with if you know what you're doing.
Alright, Sonny making his way up to Dark Death Mountain here. He's gonna find his flippers, his mirror, his boots, his everything he wanted.
And Justin checking Spike Cave. This could be big. Spike Cave is one of those oft forgotten about areas in Randomizer, so we'll see. Oh, taking a death. Oh my goodness. Oh no, had a fairy in a bottle. Thank goodness for those insurance fairies there.
Yeah, he was one step ahead of you there.
And just a left ventricle. That's not what you want to see in Spike Cave after using up that insurance fairy.
Alright, so what dungeon does he go and complete? I think he's gonna go down and do Swamp right now. It is the most chest dense. Never mind.
Yeah, you do have 6 potential items in Swamp, which is the most of pretty much any dungeon outside of Ganon's Tower.
Alright, well, looks like whoever was in Misery Mire, or maybe they didn't even go inside Misery, they just wanted to see what it was. Knowing that they can't complete it without the Candace and Mario, didn't want to risk only getting one item there.
Yeah, you don't want to risk it until you found it, because if you go in there and YOLO it and you do not find your Cane of Samaria, you're gonna be in a world of disappoint, and not to mention time loss.
Yeah, like another good thing to know with the Go mode cane is that we're not gonna worry about Turtle Rock.
Quite true. I mean, they can open it up, but yeah, you need Cane of Samaria to get inside, so that's really got to be a load off our runner's minds here.
Couch's going to go fight Blind now. The first phase is easy, but once you get to phase 3, when you start having 2 heads flying at you and Blind shooting fire at you with laser beams coming out of its eyes, it gets terrifying.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like a baker's job in the first phase. It's a piece of cake, but then you get lots of you pretty much get Zelda version of bullet hell, and it becomes not fun, as Blind is showing us here. So Couch got to be careful. Only 2 hearts left, and ooh, thankfully, narrowly averting crisis.
It was really clean up until that 3rd phase. He got 2 quick hits in during the 3rd phase, and like he missed the 3rd hammer hit, got bounced into Blind himself, and just tried to go for like the panic hammer, like straight up into its head, but missed and just took more damage than you could expect from Blind.
And Sonny hopping back over to Desert to, with the boots in hand now, we'll be able to finish it off. So good news there.
You know, be another crystal for him. We might not see Ice Palace as well, which could be a good thing. It just depends on where the Candace Maria is.
Yeah, having the Volclair Ice Palace is not something any runner wants to do, because that takes a lot of time out of your way, and if it's all for nothing, you're gonna feel like you're really behind there. And Sonny, good use of routing here, going through Misery Mire and doing the left side through the to get into Desert Palace and using the mirror to warp out. Very, very good idea for routing there.
Yeah, it's a really good choice. Just trying to save as much time as you can. And going through the main entrance is just so long. Just having to sing the song for the statues there to move out of your way.
Yeah, make a wish and get inside. We're not the Make-A-Wish Foundation. We don't got time for that. But we love them anyway.
Alright, so we get to see the chest turn in here before he goes and does Swamp. I wonder if he's gonna also check the Bombos tablet as well while he's bringing this chest over.
Have we seen what what Jeremiah has yet? I can't remember. Oh, just Big Red. Stealing his ABC gun.
Yep, nothing too good. You Sonny missing like the first round of worms. It finds a lamp. Okay.
It can be dicey. You gotta have some. You gotta be really spot on with your aim in order to get a 0 cycle on that. Oh, there's our lamp. But yeah, if you're not careful, you miss that shot, you're gonna be hard pressed to try and pick it back up again.
Yeah, so it's more about timing for the first one, because if you can get it before they actually start moving, you know, just quick kill there. But yeah, as soon as you miss one arrow, you I believe you can't shoot another arrow until your first one hits a wall or leaves the screen. So you just keep on like mashing the bow, trying to get the second shot off.
Sonny trying to go back to looks like Misery Mire, but ended up mirror bonking, trying to go back. So he's about to go check Checkerboard Cave, and for those of you who don't know Checkerboard Cave, you will see why in a moment, why we call it Checkerboard Cave.
And yep, we're gonna go see the Swamp Palace play. And a crystal.
Oh my, yes. So there's yeah, we're definitely seeing a lot of route divergence now. So that's where it gets really interesting. And I've seen some matches where there is some crazy route divergence between the two of them, and then they meet back up and they are just so neck and neck. It's incredible.
Yeah, like that's like the kind of divergence I was talking about earlier, where I was hoping that they'd get so many items they can do whatever they want, and then eventually come beat back up.
Wish granted.
Yeah, with 3 different endings going on. Yeah, we get to see double swamp now. We're probably gonna see a triple swamp here by Couch here in a second. Meanwhile, we have the big bomb by Zyrek. The one unique thing yet.
And yeah, I think we're gonna see what Fat Fairy has for us for the first time.
Some big fat trash and some bombs and a piece of heart.
And all right, there we go. And Justin making sure to get that key first. If you're not careful, it is possible to flood that key if you go north first and activate the switch, and then you have to leave Swamp, get out, and go do it all over again, which is awful. It is the worst feeling in the world.
Alright, so do you think we're gonna see like both full clear swamps, or do you think we're just gonna go straight to the back and then return if we have a missing item or two here?
I think that the general consensus play is to go out, go to the back and kill Argus first, and then go back to left side if you have to. Kind of banking on the fact that hopefully map and compass or some other like some trash items are there that you don't have to worry about. I tend to like to clear left side first, but that's just my own personal preference.
Looks like Justin is going straight to the back, which, as he knows, there's lots of chests back here. They're all really fast, and he is only missing the one item to go.
Yeah, Swamp. Aside from Ice Palace, Swamp is the other one you want to have in go mode, because then you can just skip that left side entirely and just go fight Argus and beat him up.
Alright, so finally, Couch is leaving the town there, going to Swamp from the looks of it. Yep. So now we have Zyrek, gonna be the last one to go get his items. But like, fortunately for Zyrek, he did complete Palace of Darkness, so he doesn't have to worry about going back there.
Yeah, that's a good thing not to have to worry about. I think he's gonna be pretty bummed when he finds what Landmolus has. But you know, what's done is done.
And unfortunately for Zyrak, he didn't check this tablet earlier because he completed Tower of Hera early. He's grabbing this tablet before going to the Dark World, and obviously he doesn't know this, but he's gonna find his mirror, which made grabbing that tablet much easier.
And with
Now
that
he
big
has to keep running back and forth.
with that big 20, he's gonna wish he never had checked it.
Alright, so we are getting the left side check over by Sani.
Not a bad idea. There's just as much possibility for that cane being there as going to check out Argus. So at this point, you know, I say if you have to full clear dungeons, just full clear it, because it's always that one chest that you don't check that's gonna have your progression, and then you're gonna regret it. I've had this happen to me more times than I ever wish. And now we're seeing many strats on Argus from Justin Z, which pretty much that's the fun of swordless mode right here with Argus. Really putting the Arg in Argus there.
He's doing a really good job of getting 2 puffs at once, which is actually a lot more tricky than it looks. Because those sprites have like a weird hitbox where like you try and move over and try and get another puff and you just grab the first puff a second time. But unfortunately, like, he is also not optimizing his menuing. He could be going between the 2 in 2 steps rather than 3.
Menuing is a it's a very fine art, and if you master it, it does help out a lot. But it's a very, very intricate art to master. But let's not worry about that now. Let's just worry about setting Argus on fire. Argus, you're fired.
He could have also killed Argus using the Ice Rod, doing the similar thing, just Ice Rod slower, or hammering it. Otherwise, a single silver arrow could have put the eye to rest.
Gogo 13, 1 shot, 1 kill. If you miss though, Argus's diagonals are pretty annoying, and he does move a lot faster than he looks. Float like a butterfly, stings like a jellyfish.
So we're running out of places to check, and we know that the left side doesn't have the Cane of Samaria, so just a handful of places it could be now.
Yeah, because if it's and Justin running off without the bomb.
Alright, so
Oh no, pulling off the super bomb glitch.
So the bomb. Ooh. Oh. What? Oh,
There's
no.
a way
And
to
a bonus
do
level.
it. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, with the sewer bomb, if you hold the dash, like if you touch the dash button, you actually drop the bomb and it starts the countdown. And so you can't normally just run with it, which is why he uses the hook shot, which gives you a small window of time to start your dashing animation before the bomb catches up, and then you can dash with the bomb there.
Oh geez, and unfortunately for Zyrak, running into the longest text box in the game with our little pit and puff friend, which actually I remember was done on purpose by our great randomizer developer friend. So Zyrak only has them to quote unquote thank.
Justin trying to give some firecrackers to the bomb shop as a gift for his faulty bomb that never made it to its destination.
No cheese with those crackers, let me tell you.
Yeah, as you were saying with the one of the bomb glitches is that if you transition the screen at the same time the bomb is exploding, the bomb comes back with you. So few applications of this is like dropping the bomb getting to the edge of the screen, waiting for it to explode, and then going to the next screen so you can get it right away. Otherwise, one of the better uses I'd say for that strat is to try and skip Aghanim. If for some reason you're in the dark world with the hammer, and let's say hammer's at the Pyramid Fairy, instead of doing Aghanim, you get the flippers and the mirror. You can jump into the pond, swim to the little island, like area, then mirror at the same time the bomb is exploding, and you'll go get the bomb back. You can swim with the bomb.
And Sonny having a little trouble with Argus. I'll have to ask him about Arg later, but finally being able to get his Swamp Palace Crystal, and Couch isn't that far behind either.
Yeah, I think like the main difference between like all these players for like the time wise is some of their routing like after hitting Dark World, and then just deaths from not having the easy out with a sword.
Yeah, and the other thing is too, none of them have gotten a mail upgrade, so this has been this has pretty much been what I call a glass cannon seed. So they have a ton of strong items, but as soon as they take a hit, it's very much an ouchies.
Yeah, they very much had the possibility to go get a mail upgrade, but they all opted to not grab it. At least not yet. There's still that possibility.
Couch poking Argus with a silver arrow after a couple of near misses.
Yeah, if you don't nail him with the first arrow, it feels like he becomes the smallest hitbox in the world, trying to nail him with it.
It's like trying to hit a eyeball and a jellyfish, or a needle in a haystack. One or the other.
Are you throwing the needle into the haystack? 'Cause that's a big target.
No, why not?
It looks like Justin is gonna go into Ice Palace, which is kind of a bit strange. Oh, maybe not. There's still the Waterfall of Wishing here. That's 2 items.
Indeed, yeah. This is tough, because if they run out of places, Ice and Turtle Rock are locations that players just don't want to do. It's like choosing whether you want to hit yourself in the hammer in your left or your right hand, and it's like, which one do you pick?
My left hand. Because at my work, I have a set of keys in my pocket, and I have to access those keys very often. So I kind of need my right hand to work more than my left.
That's a good point. I need both of my hands, but that's neither here nor there. But it's a pretty tough choice, though. Do you think they're gonna go with the odds and YOLO it up to Turtle Rock, or do you think we're gonna see an Ice Palace play?
Turtle Rock will never be seen the seed ever again. However, yeah, Ice Palace.
That's right. Yes.
Have we seen the Bombos tablet by any of these runners? Do you remember that?
I don't think we have, and thank you for reminding me that they don't have the Cane of Samaria to get in there, so Ice Palace is very much going to be a thing. Thank you! My lack of sleep is catching up with me.
Yeah, it's either going to be at Ice Palace, Misery Mire, or the Bombos tablet from what I've seen.
Wouldn't be a bad call to go out of the way and check that Bombos tablet. And there's one of our applications of Bombos tablet there. Justin going into Ice Palace now, so let's see if this works out here.
Yeah, so I'd consider this somewhat of a gamble, just because we don't have to be here, and we really don't need it for anything. Besides just opening the chest and hoping we find the cane. Like, we could just go into Misery Mire and hope the cane is there, which, you know, there's an increasing amount of chances based on what's being knocked off here and there.
Yeah, it's like what I said earlier when you found the flute. The absolute worst place to find an item you need is right in its vanilla location. And for those of you not as familiar with Vanilla Link to the Past, you do find the Cane of Samaria in the big chest of Misery Mire. Oh, it looks like we're getting a Bonk Rocks check too. Bonk Rocks, another oft-forgotten place. But just a little bit of love, and not the kind of love we were hoping for.
Yeah, then Couch also checked the Bombo's tablet for us, so yeah, the chances are getting more and more that it could just be vanilla cane.
Let's hope vanilla's not the flavor in play here. And Justin, okay, setting up the Ice Palace bomb jump here. So if you ever want to do randomizer, the Ice Palace bomb jump, it's a very pixel precise one, but very essential. So those of you who are interested in rando, definitely practice that sequence break.
Yeah, it's actually a little bit more forgiving than it looks. There's like a few margins of error that you can do and still get the jump right.
And there's all kinds of different methods for doing it too, so there's no shortage of strategies to plan it.
Yeah, like some people try and line up the sword. I don't remember where they line it up, but I know they use the sword to line it up somewhere to go and get the jump in the right location. I myself never watch any like tutorial videos or anything like that to see how to do any, glitches like this. So what I tend to do, placing the bomb, and then I try and match my sprite's shadow to be in between like the third and fourth peg that's coming off the side of the floor there. And that usually works for me to get to the end, to get to the other side.
I usually use the top of the door because there's like a little 2-pixel shading on the door, and I line that up with part of the hat. That's how I personally learned it. So there's no shortage of tricks you can use to figure that one out.
The hats, I assume you use a specific sprite there.
Yeah, I use the default Link sprite personally, but I need to learn it with one of my favorite sprites, the Wizrobe one.
I'm getting really excited for V30 when we get more sprites in the mix. I use Unikotova from the Ease series, but I actually never played the Ease games myself.
Hilariously, Sonny Wrath is actually one of the only people I know who uses the soda can sprite. You can also find Argus and Vitreous as custom sprites to pick from.
Just miniature version of the bosses killing their, probably their parents. At least a relative.
I'm sure they're pretty much become the black sheep of the family by then.
Alright, Couch was in the think tank there, thinking where to go next. And it looks like he is going to go make the dip into Misery Mire, try and find the cane there.
And finding the Ether Medallion.
Ether we know is not needed. It looks like he did find all 3 items, which is why he did go early without fighting the boss. And yeah, his locations left to check is being narrowed down to basically just Misery Mire.
Oh, that's rough, because that's like the last place you want to look unless you... It's a crazy gamble to go check a dungeon for its vanilla location, so I don't blame them for putting Mire off as long as they have.
Yeah, so as commentators, we are looking at all 4 of their streams at the same time. And from what I can see, Zyrak, all his locations left is basically, like I said, there's Cave 45, Ice Palace, Swamp, and the Waterfall of Wishing, which we've seen all the locations checked so far, I believe. So yeah, it just goes under the mire.
Cane of Samaria is being a heck of a troll item today. For those not familiar with randomizer battles and randomizer seeds, typically there is one item that we like to call the troll item, and you're going to have to search for that one far and wide and all the way through to find your go mode, to find that go mode item that you need. And we are seeing it in spades with our friend the Cane of Samaria.
So, Sunny Wrath going to do pod now is like not doing it early like Couch attempted and what Zyrak did. He's saving time by not having to echolocation his way around the dark maze to go and get the crystal here.
Making quick work of Helmasaur King too, but that's another thing I like about Randomizer 2, all the different choices you can make. And sometimes they pay off, and sometimes they don't. Hey, that's why we call it a gamble. And, you know, sometimes it don't work out. And then we as commentators and viewers see, oh, no, that's not the right move. But it's not necessarily a bad move if you don't know where it's going. You know, if you're the person who's running it, and you don't actually know what's there, so...
Yeah, we have the luxury of knowing more than they do. We have 4 times as much information for this particular race than they do.
If we can keep up with 4 screens at the same time.
So another thing I'm thinking about is I see Zyrak using the tracker with the map. I'm assuming Couch may have it as well. And one thing I noticed is that they don't have their swords selected over to at least Master Sword or anything like that. So I'm kind of a bit curious, because it shows Misery Mire in all red, so I wonder if he knows that he can do it, or if he's just putting it off like everyone else is, just trying to find that cane there.
I'm not familiar with the kind of tracker he's using, but could be curious to think that maybe it's only red because it cannot complete the dungeon fully without the Cane of Samaria. So that's probably, I'm guessing, why it's still highlighted in red.
Yeah, so it looks like everyone else is just completing what dungeons they can and the overworld they can before going to the mire, inside mire itself.
I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing some anger polls by some of our runners here, because this is being really frustrating, and I'm sure they gotta feel behind or something like that, because this is just being a mean cane.
Yeah, I'm definitely sure all these runners probably feel very behind. Just 2 people inside ice are probably like, what if Kane is, you know, in mire itself and they went straight for it? But these people are like doing these gambles into ice and all these other locations. Like, I understand what Sonny and Justin Z are doing, you know, just completing the dungeons they can complete before they go and, you know, do anything else more searching.
Come to think of it, have we actually seen Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb yet?
Yes we have, and they didn't have anything.
Okay, I missed that and all the fun, crazy action. So yeah, the more that's narrowed down, the more Mire is the play, and if Mire's the play, I would be particularly amused to see it in the big chest.
Either there, or what could be worse is like if they find the mushroom or the powder. Like, it could be they find powder in there, which leads to the mushroom, which leads to the cane. Like, that's like worst case scenario at this point.
Oh jeez, are you taking like ideas from Trolldorm here? How dare you?
Well, it's like 3-step process, you know. There's really not much left to troll about this seed. They've done practically everything.
It's a 3-step process. It's gonna lead them into a 10-step or 12-step program here, I think.
Because, like, that's the worst case scenario, because it's just, alright, dip into Mire for a fetch quest to do another fetch quest to get the item from Mire, and that's as far as it goes. Just go back and then go fight Ganon.
At least they don't have to do Ganon Silverless.
they gotta do it swordless. What I'm really wanting to see is I really want to see their Aghanim 2 fight. See how that goes.
Yeah, you never get to see the net during like standard open with actual swords. So this is going to be the first time that I've actually seen the net have its worth. So, net worth. You're welcome.
Definitely miss Aghanim 1 opportunity with the net, but there's still time for Agha 2.
Oh yeah, hey, well there is our powder in Ice Cave actually, so that possible fetch quest is open, so we're gonna have to see what's in Bat Cave.
Oh wow, I didn't even notice that they found the powder inside of ice there.
I just happened to catch it on Zyrak's screen there, and he's like, oh god, please let it be. Please let it be. I can only imagine that's what he's thinking right now. All right, everybody, get hype. What are we going to find? Are we going to find the Cane of Samaria? And survey says...
No. The answer is no. Well, I guess, the biggest troll we can think of now is, Mr. Meyer has Mushroom. That's about it, Mushroom to Cane.
Well, the only thing I can say, Misery loves company and is going to get company no matter what. And probably we have Forerunners who are in Misery going to go into Misery. So, we've got some punnage on like 2 or 3 levels here. Wow, I'm doing good today.
Alright, well, let's see, for one, like, where is the Cane location inside of here? And, I don't remember if Zyrak completed not Ice Swamp, which I assume he did.
Yeah, so we're gonna see if it's not in. I can't imagine the Cane not being in Mire. Where the heck could it be? It's definitely not gonna be on Vitreous, thank God, because then that would lock him out. But where is that thing?
Yeah, from the looks of it, I'd say Zyrak probably has the lead here.
Yeah, because I think he's just biting the bullet and YOLO into Mire. I mean, what other choice does he have, you know?
And, like, just looking at his tracker, it shows that he didn't do Swamp, but might have.
Okay. Phantom Ryu, I love you, and I mean no disrespect here, but it's gotta be Cane! We are in go mode for Zyrak, folks!
Alright, well, it wasn't a Godmire with the, Cane into Big Key, but we'll take a go mode first.
I think we can call it Godmire, as in thank God, Mire. You're ending my misery now.
So now we know it's just who's gonna be the next one to go to Mire first.
And well, there's our big key here, so it's I think it's about as Godmire as we're gonna get given the circumstances. So yeah, Zyrak heading right to Vitreous. Keep your eyes peeled, guys, because we're gonna see some clear eyes in just a moment. Because with those silver arrows, it's gonna go by so fast that you can't help but say, wow.
You know what's quite impressive is that, like, for as much as they've done, for as much as they cleared, it's only been an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's felt like a lot longer, I will say that much.
Like, it feels like be almost sub 2, or can be sub 2 at this point, at the rate they're going.
Yeah, it could very well be if they have an easy find on easy find of the big key in Ganon's tower there. And it looks like Sonny is headed right into Meyer too, so he's going to be right on Zyrak's heels there. So there's as I always say though, even though Gomo's going to be happening, it ain't over till the Fat Fairy sings, because there's still some prime opportunities to even the odds. We have Moldorm 2, we've got Aga 2, we've got the big pig himself, Ganon. So it's not over until one of them goes into that Triforce room and we give the GGs.
We just see another Hammer Moldom fight, which is going to be fun.
And yeah, we're see what I mean? Them Clear Eyes is right in play, and bam. 2 shots and down is Vitreous, and that gives us our final crystal. So you know what? I think I'm gonna borrow a little game here. Don, you up for a game?
Hold on. Let's give it a second. I'm curious as to where he's going at this point. Because he might be going down to Swamp at this point. So, game's not started yet.
Oh, dang. I'm getting eager. Okay, friend, hold on for a game at the moment. We'll officially start after I'm done jumping the gun like a moron.
So yeah, he definitely didn't do Swamp, so he was actually gambling that everyone else did Swamp and Swamp didn't have Kane, so good on Zyrak for reading his opponents.
Nicely done, game. I actually thought he had done Swamp, and it's with 4 screens to keep track of, it's easy to miss some big chunks of action here. So, I gotta say that I totally missed it.
Yeah, he totally wanted that sweet go mode action in Swamp.
Oh, and oh baby, he got it. Venus, Fire, and Desire. But I think has Sonny actually completed Swamp as well, I believe?
Yeah, everyone else completed Swamp because obviously, 6 items is quite a lot. I know Justin and Couch both skipped left side Swamp and opted to just go straight up to the boss fight. So I wonder if that's on their mind that Kane could have been on that side.
It could very well be, and double dip in a dungeon is not something you want to do, especially when you're at this phase of a race. And Sonny getting the big key, and with that, Sonny is now in go mode and will be getting his last crystal for real now.
So Couch, following the lead of Zyrak and Justin, is going to Ice Palace first. Once again, it's 3 items in here compared to the 1 to 2 that's available in Meyer.
And yeah, you can't blame them. I mean, more items, better probability. Go with the odds. That's a very valid strategy.
Once again, it can just be one of those, my opponent was greedy for go mode and went straight to Meyer and Kane's and Ice, one of those situations as well.
Oh yeah, many a reason, all of them valid. Yeah, gambles are like, doing different ways is kind of like eating a Reese's peanut butter cup. No wrong way. No wrong way at all.
My preferred way of eating a Reese's peanut butter cup is like to put it in the fridge or freezer so it gets nice and cold for the chocolate on the outside. Take 1 bite in so you get that nice crispy outer shell of the chocolate with a little bit of peanut butter. Go in for just 1 strong bite of the middle peanut butter area. and then just finish it off with just more hard shell at the end. Just 3 bites.
Don, if I buy peanut butter cups tomorrow, I'm blaming you.
Like, it just, to me, that is the best way to eat a Reese's peanut butter cup. Just 3 bites, 3 delicious, like, unique, well, 2 unique chunks, and just, instead of it being all melty. Also, we can start the game now. We got the 7th crystal.
Okay, thank you, because you're making me way too dang hungry. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are borrowing something from the Speed Gaming Tournament. There are 22 different locations that the big key could be in Ganon's Tower. Get your guesses in now. Anyway, for those of you who guessed the correct number for the correct chest, I have here a coupon valid for Swamp Palace Spa. Without the Moan Pearl, you'll feel like a whole new you. So if you want a nice little coupon to Swamp Palace Spa, guess it correctly. Where do you think it's gonna be, Don?
Some of my favorite guesses are 2, with the first chest being a small key, just the fastest Ganon possible. Another one would be 6, because I like the right side room. And my first favorite when I first started watching randomizer would be, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 8, the double like fire bar room.
That's the one I like to try to get. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm going to personally guess 8 myself in traditional routing. So the double fire bar room is the one I'm looking at. So, but the number could change depending on what path Sonny wants to take. He could gamble right side. He could gamble left. Let's see what happens.
Zarek loading up on some potions. I really don't blame him for this. It could be like, this is actually the one part of the game where having an upgraded sword is very key to like going fast.
Oh my goodness, yes. And while we're waiting to get into Ganon's Tower, I do want to say too, if you haven't followed the runners already, they've been doing a fantastic job, and this has been a real fun match to watch. Why don't you give them a follow on Twitch as well? I think they've earned it, and you get to check out all the other cool stuff that they're doing in the meantime. So give them some love, give them a follow.
As well, they're running for RPGchick-a-thon. Trying to help someone in our community out. Great person, always really friendly, always doing like speed running stuff. She is fantastic. Give her a follow as well.
Absolutely. So we've gotten we're on number 3, and we still haven't seen anything yet. And good to stash up on keys there, because you definitely need at least 1 before you go up. Otherwise, you are going to get locked out of doing Moldorm 2, and it is going to be a sad day in your universe. And number 4, 100 rupees, 5 is the compass.
You're not actually guaranteed to be locked out if you don't go up there with 1 key, but you only have, 2 chests to find it if you don't, or 3 chests.
There's also a key on one of the Helmasaurs in the room right before, so as long as you have 1 key with you and you kill the Helmasaur for the key, you're fine.
Yeah, it's safe. Just like I said, just get the 1 key.
So
It'll save you.
Number 8 had a key, but just a small key, so we're still looking.
I'm a bit sad we haven't seen anyone use the boomerang yet.
And Zyrak is right on Sonny's heels, so this is pretty close between the 2 of them now. And Justin looks like he's not that far behind.
It looks like Justin still needs to get to Misery Mire to find his next, progression into the crystal.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, we're seeing the right side by Zyrak here.
Excuse me.
We have some divergence against Tower.
Yeah, very well could be. I mean, he feels he's behind and is taking the gamble here. I'm still going to go by Sonny's just because that's what we started with. So 10, 11, 12, and 13 not having it because he
It's on the
would have
right
mirrored
side.
out, so.
It's on the right
Oh, it is right side indeed, and Zyrak is going to pull ahead. Look at that.
side. Hyrax took the lead.
It's just, this is why randomizer battles get so intense. The leads are neck and neck. You never know who's just gonna get the upper hand. It can change any moment. Sonny's not gonna be that far behind, but there's still time for him to catch up.
Yeah, there's going to be quite a few rooms in between the two of them. Completing to fight this Ice Armos fight, grab these like 3 chests here, then go to the right side. It's like 6 to 7 chests.
Yeah, so I can't think of what it would be in the traditional red. I'm gonna say. Okay, so I think that's 17. I think that's gonna be 17 right there in traditional routing, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that was 15, but it might be 17. I am lost.
Yeah, that would be 17. I just redid the math in my head.
Yeah, for the bottom 2 runners, once again, it's whoever gets to Misery Mire first will be in the lead there.
And Sonny gambling tile room. Oh, that's going to be an unfortunate time sink there. But we do get to see the cape glitch, which is pretty cool. The cape glitch works if you turn on the cape and you hold onto the wall. It actually not only uses no magic, but you're pretty much invulnerable the whole time, which pretty cool demonstration. But oh boy. It's all about gambles here, and this is what we're seeing even this late into the game. Holy cow, this is turning into something else right here. And, oh, what, Justin Z pulling ahead into the gauntlet already.
Yeah, so it's especially with a Tyrone gamble, there was way much of a time sink, so he is very far in now for Zyrak.
And that's the thing, places change in an instant just by one little choice here. Very beautiful Cane of Samaria on the second Wizrobe room there. I always point out that one. Our runners make that one look easy, but boy, that is a tricky maneuver to master right there. That is not an easy one whatsoever.
Yeah, it's a lot of positioning and lots of timing.
Ooh, and Justin getting his health back there. Nice to have that safety. Otherwise, could have been looking at a death in the gauntlet where you do not want a death at all.
So was that chess 19 that we saw there for a chess game?
I believe so. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call it, if you got 19 or 20, give yourself a pat on the back, because I'm going to call it a winner because there has been so much action. I was not able to get that chess number. So, so that's what we'll do there. If it's 19 or 20, you'll get vouchers at Swamp Palace Spa.
Because I very much believe it was 19. So right hand action and villain fetishist. You both have 17.
Oh,
Pretty
it's
close.
Zyrak going for the hover and not quite getting it. Oh, man. Hovering is a very difficult trick that not many runners can do, but if you can do it, oh my goodness, does it really put you in a league of your own right there, because you can skip things you don't have to worry about, and he's going for it again. Can he do it? He's got it. He got it.
Yep.
Zyrak has got it.
The successful hover.
Ladies and gentlemen, you do not see a hover in every race, so you have witnessed something rare there. Nice job by Zyrak for pulling that off.
Yeah, only like a few handfuls of people can hover. It is swag dash strats on top of that.
I can tell you without a doubt that I am definitely not, by a long shot, one of those people who can hover. So kudos to Zyrak there.
Yeah. What is it like? A 1-frame window or something like that to end your dash and start another dash.
Yeah, there's
It
a
was-
there's a window, there's a like a rhythm you have to do with it, I believe, in order to get it. If you want a fun, easy way to do it, which totally not a legal maneuver in a race, I've set my turbo button actually to A, and that's an easier way to help.
Yeah, I believe like some people put a little bit gap between their fingers when they do that and just keep on running it back and forth on the controller. I can't even begin to fathom how fast or how difficult that is.
Yeah, because if you want fast button presses, there you go. That is Master Takahashi style right there. A quick little trivia bit. Master Takahashi, who was replaced by Master Higgins in Adventure Island, was a spokesperson for Hudson, who in his prime could actually mash a button 15 times a second, which equals once every 4 frames. And so anyways, Zyrak, now into phase 2 of the Ganon fight here. You gotta be careful because, I mean, we still don't have any male upgrades, so those things are going to hurt like heck. And already into phase 3. It's pretty much Zyrak's race to lose at this point. He does have some considerable time, so he could potentially recover from a fall. It's not over yet, though.
I think he might have picked up Blue Mail. I believe Blue Mail's on the right side there.
Did he? I do not see it.
But yeah, it's very much that he didn't get it as well. But
And I think he got the torch glitch here. Sidestep. This is tricky here. Yeah, he did get the torch glitch, so he has that. And Justin now in the Ganon fight, so we're pretty neck and neck between Zyrak and Justin. So basically, a fall could determine it.
Before the race, High Spears did throw down the gauntlet and say to do the silverless. But
Oh, so
he was going for it at first, and he's like, no, I need to win this race, and got a nice triple on that arrows.
now that is some skill right there, because a double is tricky enough to pull off, but a triple is something else. Zyrak landing the final blow, and I think we can safely say officially in first place winning this race is Zyrak. Good game. Get your GGs in the chat. Show some love. And hopefully we can pull him in here, and maybe we can get some comments from him shortly here.
I think Zyrak was just trying to style on everybody at the end. Between like the hover, the swagnet dash, and now the triple arrow shot, and some of the silverless fights, like he was just showing off at that point.
Yeah, that was Flair like Ric Flair, and boy was I going, woo! Keep the wrestling jokes coming, folks. That's just me. Justin getting a triple 2 there, and Justin taking second place now. So Sonny not far behind, and we have Couch. So definitely get your GGs in there for Justin as well, not far behind.
Oh, my Justin was frozen on him picking up the crystal in Palace of Darkness. I missed so much of his race at the end. I'm sorry, Justin.
I mean, there was so much action to see, and this was just a rough seed for them all, too. So, I mean, there was definitely a lot to see there, and So, Sonny finishing off Aga, and Couch just getting into Ganon's Tower now.
Oh, it looks like he's going left side too, instead of going right side after finding the key.
I don't blame him, you know, going with the odds. That's a move I'd make too. That's can't fault him for that.
Hello and welcome, Zyrak.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Zyrak, GG, you officially have finished first. Congratulations.
Thanks.
So, I think we may have Justin coming in soon too, but I guess I don't really have a super formal interview lined up, but what are your thoughts, bud?
That was a seed. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, after I took so long to get the flippers in the mirror, I felt like I needed to make plays. So the first one was ice, which didn't work out, and then French vanilla cane, that one did.
Oh, I know. That was just like, it just seemed like it was more and more going that direction, and it's like we had one vanilla item, and then we had one almost vanilla item. I mean, is that something you even expect? My goodness.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the trolliest places items can be, are either in their vanilla dungeon or in the dungeon you typically need to use them in the most. So, yeah, Kane and when Turtle Rock is a pendant, Kane and Misery Mire. I don't know. It's weird. How like my gut wanted me to go into Mire when I first finished Desert 2, but I mean I had so much else to do, I couldn't talk myself into doing it. But yeah, quite a seed.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you had, that would have been like kind of a crazy gamble here, but that would have paid off for you. But that's just how rando rolls sometimes. So,
Yeah.
Ooh, mama.
So, why did you go into Ice Palace before going into Mire?
I felt behind. I felt like I needed to make plays. I felt like, but because of the way the fill logic works, the more and more like item sequence you gate something behind, the less likely it is to be there slightly. So when mirror and flippers are both there, and I clear out the overworld, and I still don't have the cane, I'm thinking the odds that the cane is locked behind both the flippers and the mirror in swap is pretty unlikely. It's more likely it's one or the other or neither. So I decided to take a shot at Ice Palace first, again, because I felt behind. I felt like if I wanted to, win, I had to do something. So I decided on Ice Palace first, which didn't work. But yeah, Mire did.
And the other routing question I have is, you got the bow at the very beginning, and then you got silvers right away as well. What made you go up and do Death Mountain before going into Eastern Palace?
Higher item density. I felt like unless there was an item on Spectacle Rock, which boots, I can clear out most of everything up there without Titans as I am. And if I get Lamp or if I get something for Desert, I can complete other dungeons quicker. It was a toss up. When I found the book in Tahasrala's back closet, I was like, I'm probably leaving something on Ether Medallion, but thankfully I wasn't.
And poor Sonny having a second death again. That's got to be rough right there, just no matter what.
Silverless Ganon is no joke. Or swordless Ganon, I should say.
Swordless and serverless. I don't even want to wrap my head around that one. I'm still in training, and my God, no.
I gave it a shot. I went for 6 hits and didn't get them once, so I was like, okay, we're done here. let's just move on.
Yeah, I probably would have done that at like -1 because it's like no, I'm not even gonna try that.
Yeah, it's such a clean Ganon fight as well. Like even in phase 2, going in between the fire circle there and just keep on getting hits off. Looked really nice to see.
Yeah, thanks. That's when I was practicing swordless stuff. I found with Ganon actually not getting a 1 cycle right away, so you could have that opportunity to pin him against the north wall. Tends to be the quickest way to be able to go through him. So that was part luck that he moved where he did, and part practice. Oh, poor Couch. Getting fondled.
He did the same thing Sonny did in doing tile room before checking the right side.
Oh.
And yeah, just getting picked up at the end there, just lost you more time.
I don't. Justin said in the SRL room that he had to take off. So, GG's to Justin. That was obviously really close between the two of us at the end.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet. Yeah, definitely GG's for Justin. Excellent job there. I mean, everybody's done an excellent job so far. I mean, there's I mean, even if you make last place, I mean, hey, you still did good. You know what I'm trying to go with here, right?
Oh yeah. There's nothing easy about Swordless at all. Like, just nothing easy about it. So
No,
yeah.
Kudos points just all around for everybody for just like battling this out. Oh, Couch finally getting the big key relief time.
And I got the hover in for the fans on the second try, which was
that was beautiful. I don't care if you failed it the first time. That was beautiful, and like I want to hover someday. Because I believe I can fly.
Just buy yourself a few controllers, because you're going to go through a couple. If you decide to learn it, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I was kind of making mention now. Now, for those who aren't as familiar with the hover, how do you pull it off? Is it like a button mashing? Is it a rhythm? How it work?
It's mostly a rhythm. The way I do it is I space my index finger and middle finger on my hand about a width of the button apart, and just sort of vibrate side to side. It's not as fast as you think it is to be able to pull it off, but it is fairly quick. The hardest part is honestly doing the vibration without having your fingers slip, so that you either don't let go of the button or have one of them slip off the side, because as soon as you do that, then you're falling. But once you sort of get around that, it's actually not too bad.
And Sonny finally finishing off Ganon there. GG to Sonny, and I think he might be joining us. Sonny, you there?
No.
GG, Sonny.
Yeah,
GG's
GG.
Iraq. Oh man, how about that Kana Samaria and Meyer?
Yeah, how about that, huh?
That was
it
my
makes- Yeah, so go ahead.
that was my last place to look.
For me, it wasn't. I felt behind and really didn't want to do Swamp, so I dove in there. After doing Ice Palace, I dove in there, found it.
So yeah, Sonny, I'm kind of not really having a super formal interview. Just your thoughts in general, buddy.
This was the thing. Those are literally my thoughts.
Yeah, that's fair. If Phantom Ryu's watching, he's probably gonna kill me for borrowing his catchphrase, but
It had to be Kane for my go mode.
yeah. Hey, I mean, if some people on chat haven't been watching the tournament and don't know what I'm talking about, finally, I had to say it. So all the love for Phantom Ryu in the world.
I guess another question I could ask, I guess, is how relieved were you when you found the flippers in the mirror in Death Mountain, and knowing that you didn't have to go to Turtle Rock at all?
I'm trying to think of a good answer for that. I mean, I was quite relieved, but I actually like Turtle Rock, so when I saw that, I also was a little bummed. Turtle Rock is one of my favorite dungeons. I'm so glad I didn't have to dive Ice Palace at all, because I don't like that dungeon.
Yeah. I was fully prepared to go into Turtle Rock. I opened it fully intending if the cane was up there to go in. I expected to find the cane, not the flippers and the mirror, so that Turtle Rock was now off the table.
What medallion was required for TR? Because I didn't check.
They were both bombos.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how that works out being double sometimes in the rando. Hey, that's what it rolls sometimes. That's what I always say.
Just gotta roll with punches.
Exactly. Do a rickroll.
Now, I will say I flipped out when I saw silver arrows fairly early on. Because I saw those and I went, well, there's my power. Between that, hammer, and power glove, as well as hook shot, it was a little ridiculous for the start.
Yeah, that's about as nice as Swordless can be for early combat with early silvers, early hook shot especially.
And then just the troll of having the Moon Pearl on Zora.
On Zora.
Yeah.
I think that's only like the second time in a while, and that's including all of my own practice seeds, that I've actually seen Zora have something useful. Ironically, the other thing that Zora had was useful was in a tournament match I called where it had Cane of Samaria. Funny enough.
Yeah, nice. Nice. Zora with Moon Pearl is tough because most players obviously want to use the glitch involving the Moon Pearl to get into the Wishing Well Cave. So without it, you're sort of durst to go up there.
Good old water walking glitch.
So that's how Zora was pulling off his trolling today. I see it now. Thank you.
I mean, after we did get Moon Pearl, things went pretty smoothly afterwards.
Yeah, I think all four of you did just back-to-back, like, pod into not Turtle Rock, Thieves Town, Skullwood, where some of you just opted to not do the pod one till later.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, if we all did pod, that would have surprised me. Part of the reason why I did it early was because I figured other people would be doing the Thieves area.
Yeah, you and Couch both went into pod first, where the other ones just went around.
Yeah, I jumped into Thieves Town and Skull Woods, where I found my Titan's Mitt, which allowed me to get mirror and flippers fairly early. And then I also got boots after that, which then led me into desert, got me my lamp, and then I went to Palace of Darkness.
Speaking of Couch 2, Couch is about to go into Ganon now. Now, I'm glad he's finishing off the seed for us. So let's see how he does. I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah, sure.
What was your collection rate, Zarek?
142.
Not bad.
And it looks like Couch is now in phase 2, the most fun part of all. And by fun, I mean the sarcastic kind of fun.
Fire bats everywhere.
Yeah, the fire bats plus the very short range of the hammer really makes it difficult.
Yeah, hitting him when he's on the bottom is not fun at all.
It's kind of like a Meatloaf album title here.
I mean, if you feel like tanking the damage, you can always hug the bottom wall and then hammer up.
Yeah, I think with this one being a pretty armorless seed, probably not risking it, because I think everybody pretty much had green mail the whole time, if I'm not mistaken.
I had green mail until I checked Tile Room.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I with all the action going on, I totally missed that.
Oh, Tile Room was the other one. Oh, okay, so yeah, Zarek definitely didn't get the blue mail then.
No.
And come on, Couch, gotta be careful here. This is he still have it. Oh, he doesn't have any more safeties. Oh boy, this is gonna be tricky. Oh, but has capes, so that's nice.
Yeah, Justin was the only one that grabbed the blue mail on the Lake Ilian Island.
I
I would've-
honestly thought about
Sorry.
it.
Yeah, I just never had really felt like I had a good time to route over there and get it.
And phase 3, this is very at the edge of your
Yeah.
That was close. Oh my goodness. That's the thing with that hammer. A few pixels separates Banhammer from Bear Hug.
Just remember that when you're hammering up, the hitbox is itty bitty.
Ew.
Oh,
Oh, I am like, yeah, it's like I'm on the edge of my seat here
Oh,
myself.
couch.
I those this is like legit, this is like legit reactions from me. I'm not even like hamming this up for the crowd. I'm just being Rick here. Oh, he's gonna.
it's just so close each time.
Oh, come on, couch. You can do it,
Aim
man.
down.
Get that double. Oh.
Oh my gosh, so good. Come on, you got it.
Oh, that fire was so close.
I can feel this because I remember this kind of closeness being on the first time I ever did Master Sword Ganon, and I did it on my first try, and oh my god, the feelings were real. The feelings were so real.
Got him.
All right, you got
Oh man, so nice, so nice. Oh, I'm gonna give the biggest GG of all the couch. I don't care. It don't matter if he finished last. That was a darn close Ganon fight. That was just a great fight to watch. Just an edge of your seat thing. So yeah, give the GGs and caps to couch, everybody. That was fantastic.
I almost fell out of my chair watching it on my phone.
Yeah, that is a fight. Hopefully he joins. I'd like to hear what he had to say about that before we finish up. So let's see if he does. No, that's fine. It's just we're pretty much doing informal here. Of course. So let's see here.
I think that was the most clutch Ganon fight I've ever seen. That was just an insane Ganon from couch.
That was a hell of a Ganon fight there. And I think we have Couch with us. Couch, it don't matter if you finished last, dude. GG, that was an amazing Ganon fight.
You had everyone on the edge of their seats, on the edge of their couch.
No kidding.
Oh, that was fantastic. Why didn't I think of that? But oh goodness, I'd say I was on the edge of my seat, but I sit on the floor, so.
Not sure if Couch can hear us.
Oh, I'm muted. My bad.
Good job, Couch.
Couch, I can't hear sign language. You gotta talk to us. No, I'm kidding, buddy.
Yeah,
how
that's
you feeling? GG, like I said, man. Just your thoughts, man.
That was a fun seed. I thought about dipping Meyer like as soon as I got there, and I was just like, I'll put it off.
Oh man.
And of course, that's where it happened to be. So, ooh, mama.
That was a pretty fun seed though. I enjoyed it.
Hey, at least you had a good time doing it. And like I said, you gave us one heck of a Ganon fight. So, man, that was.
I was
That
worried
reminded
there
me
for
of
a
my.
minute.
Yeah, that reminds me of my Master Sword Ganon. I'll tell you about that outside of here, but yeah, definitely. Just got any thoughts? Any whatever? Go ahead.
Just GG to everyone, man. That was a great race. Thank you. Thank you for having me, High Spirits. Thanks for the race, and let's keep it up for Riku players around here.
Yeah, GG guys. Holy crap.
Hey everybody.
Justin, GG.
Gee, everyone, that was quite the seed.
Oh man, I know, right?
That cane, man.
Yeah. Hey, just real quick, since you're here, Justin, any thoughts real quick? No real formal interview, just kind of say what's on your mind.
Oh, this seed took so long that my date actually bailed on me. So don't let anyone ever say that I did not give
Oh, ouch.
Oh,
to the RPGchick-a-thon because I did.
well, thank you for doing it, Justin.
Yes, thank you so much, Justin.
Yeah, I think I realized
Yeah.
where Troll Dorm has trolled us. I think it was just you by making that Cane of Samaria so hard to find you're not allowed to go on your date. I'm gonna go yell at Troll Dorm and send him in the corner.
Yeah, I mean that's it right there. But no, really glad we had the opportunity for this. High Spirits, awesome that you set all this up, and it's just great to see a cause like this just getting so much traction. It's wonderful. So I'm pleased and honored to be a part of it.
Absolutely. You're here. Get well soon, RPG Chick.
Indeed, RPG Chick. Get well soon.
And I think with that, I definitely want to throw my thanks to people. Don, you want to say any final words from you, bud?
Once again, like everyone else, I'll say thanks. I don't run any games myself, but I'm so glad I got to contribute in some way to the RPGchick-a-thon.
All right, fantastic. And I think from here, I want to definitely want to give my thanks to our runners, Zyrak, SonnyWrath11, Couch23, and Justin Z for playing a fantastic game. I want to thank Don Verner, my co-commentator in crime. It was great to work with you again. Definitely thanks to High Spirits for putting this on. Get well soon for you, RPG Chick. We're rooting for you from here.
Thank you all for this race. Ended up really close at the end there, and I appreciate it. Justin saw Zyrak, and Couch, Don, and Rick. I appreciate all of the work you did.
Hey, glad to do it. Big thank you to you, High Spirits, for putting this on. This is, like they said, a really great cause, and it's great of you for doing this.
Thank you.
You're a heck of a guy.
Okay, I need to move on, but thank you very much.
Yep.
All right. Coming up next is the finale of the RPGchick-a-thon. I feel like this has gone on for about 3 years.